In the movie Interstellar, one of the main characters makes the statement, "An accident is the first building block of evolution." Now, while that may seem like a throwaway line in a fantasy-based sci-fi flick, there appears to be an agenda behind this movie. You see, the unstated premise of the movie appears to suggest that whatever challenges humans face, humanity is going to have to face them alone. And ultimately, we must be our own salvation. If this secular view of the future is true, then we are utterly alone and hopelessly without purpose. This means there's nothing intentional behind our existence, and thus there's no significance, destiny, or ultimate meaning to our lives. Any attempt to save ourselves merely prolongs the inevitable demise of a meaningless species that will, in the future, fade into an unremembered oblivion. The question that arises from the messaging of that movie is how chaos and accident gave rise to us, beings of an insatiable intentionality. If the premise of the movie is true, then our lives are based on a contradiction, the erroneous belief that our intentionality arose from a purposeless accident. To suggest that a randomness gave birth to a species that is filled with deliberateness is like saying that an explosion in a printing press could have created the works of Shakespeare. Fortunately, the Bible makes sense of our origin story for us and also reminds us that we have a purpose beyond just mere existence. As the Apostle Paul wrote in Colossians chapter 1, verses 16 and 17, "For by him all things were created that are in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created through him and for him. And he is before all things, and in him all things consist." You see, there's a clue in all of us that we are more than just a collection of chemicals and electrical impulses. That clue is our intentional nature, the nature to create, to compose, to defend, to act, to decide, to purpose in our minds to do something that will influence the world around us. Even our passion for self-preservation, which the movie illustrates perfectly, seems to point to the notion that we've been purposefully created and that the traits of deliberateness and self-preservation were baked into us at creation. Seriously, think about how randomness and chaos could have created such non-random creatures. That doesn't seem plausible. One would expect that randomness would beget more randomness rather than patterns and predictability and order. Isn't the more likely explanation that an intentional being created us with a purpose, and he did so with that purpose in mind? Is it not more rational to think that we are meant to be creatures of intentionality rather than an accident, a collection of components lacking in purpose and function? This is the beauty of humanity. We are fearfully and wonderfully made for a purpose and made for a future.